Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to review another album. I just want to say that these album reviews that I'm doing are basically albums that I think that you would miss or otherwise haven't given a deeper look to. Um, and I think that they deserve someone to take a look at them and to talk about them. There's plenty of albums out there that I think people overstate and talk about how great they are, and there's an understanding of things. And then there's albums that I think that people like may have slid through the cracks. So in the past, I've done the Robin Trower, which I believe that like a lot of people overlook that record, and also I think the Jellyfish with the Imperial Drag. I don't even think people even heard of Imperial Drag, but I think that Jellyfish record goes overlooked. So today we have another album review. Today's album review is a favorite of mine. It's an album by Joe Walsh called But Seriously, Folks. This album was basically at the height of what I think is Joe Walsh's creative career. It was right after Hotel California, which I love the song he did on that record, Pretty Maids All in a Row. And it was before In the City and that stuff. There are some guest spots from Eagles members on this album. But overall, I think this record is probably his best album, and it's an album that when I put on, and when you listen to front to back, by the time you get to Life's Been Good at the end, you're like, this album's fantastic. So let's go song by song and take a look at, But Seriously, Folks, the 1978 release from Joe Walsh. The first song in this album is Over and Over, which I believe is just a great pop rock song. Very Joe Walsh. It's just great. I can't really say enough about how good I think this song is. I think as the album opener, it's fantastic. This album to me goes in with the way records were constructed back in the days where it was the 1, 2, 3 punch, and then you get the rest of the stuff on side two. Actually, on this album, I think it's the whole side one is flawless. Not many times would I say a side of a record is a 10, but I think side one of this album is a 10. So Over and Over is the opening song. The song that follows that is Secondhand Store, which is a song that's not written by Joe Walsh. But I love the song. I think it's great. There's some beautiful pedal steel on there by Don Felder, and it's just a great song. And as a 1-2 hit, it's just great coming right in. The next song is is Indian Summer, and Indian Summer is not only is it a great song that I love. I'm gonna do it in the acoustic corner. I want to show how that song is played. There's a bunch of ways Joe plays it. If you watch him live on YouTube, I've seen him play it live a bunch of times. Sometimes he chooses playing it in open G, and then sometimes he plays it like he's playing it on the record, which was in drop D with a capo on the 5th fret. But it's just one of those great songs. It's got like that nice open ringy sound. The next song on the album is a song called At the Station. This is probably my favorite song on the album. Although, if you looked up a song on YouTube by Joe Vitale, who played drums on that song, if you look up a Joe Vitale Falling, the last minute of his song is the main section of this song. Joe, he's been playing with Joe forever, with Joe Walsh. And so Joe Vitale had a song, this song Falling, and at the very end he does the whole, I'm falling down, down, down. The whole end part of this song called Falling, Joe Walsh borrowed, and of course he gave him writing credit, and made a better song out of it. It's like the old Frank Zappa trick. Zappa used to say, if you feel like your part of a song could be better served in another song down the road, do it. He's like, why not take from yourself? So Joe Vitale and Joe Walsh have writing credit on At the Station. And the dual leads on it with Felder and Joe Walsh are great on it. Again, I think it's my favorite song on the album. It's great. The next song on this record is Tomorrow. If you had it on album, you'd now be flipping it over to side 2. But on the CD, it's just the next song. Very poppy, Eagle-esque type song. And if you think so, mostly it's because you have Glenn Frey, Don Henley, and Timothy B. Schmidt singing backups on it. But it's a real nice song. It reminds me very much of a song that you would probably hear on Hotel California type of vibe. Just a great, great song. I mean, it's awesome. I think these songs that are on these albums so far that I've named, except for At the Station, because obviously At the Station was a big radio hit, but we had Over and Over, Secondhand Store, Indian Summer, and Tomorrow. Those three songs are as good as anything on the radio that I've ever heard from Joe Walsh, and they probably should have been on the radio. In fact, I like these songs a lot better than the classic like Rocky Mountain Way or like The Confessor. There's a lot of songs that he got that on the radio that I think don't touch this one here. Of course, I love Turn to Stone, but so not that one. But I do think there's some songs that he did that deserve like a lot more praise than some of these radio hits. Anyways, moving on. The next little piece is like it's under 2 minutes. It's called Inner Tube, and it's very it's instrumental, a little haunting. Has the synth sounds going and then the piano playing. It's very nice, and to me, it breaks up the album nice. It just takes you away from what you were listening to for like a minute, and I like it a lot. The next song is a song called Theme from Bo Weirdos. Not really sure what's going on with the title to that. This is an instrumental, a longer one now. This one's over 4 minutes. It's great. I think it was co-written with Willie Weeks on bass. Jay Ferguson has a co-writing credit on it. For those that remember, Jay Ferguson used to be in Spirit, and also he's the one that sang Out on Thunder Island, which I think was like right around the same time. But it has like some real nice pop sensibility in the middle of this song. It has it's great. I think it's just a great song. It's kind of like if you took Joe Walsh during this era of his writing sensibility and put it in an instrumental but try to make it a hit. I think you have this song, and I think it's great. As instrumental goes, I think it's perfect in this album because what it does is it sets you up for the last song, and the last song's Life's Been Good, which to me is such a over-the-top radio hit. Not my favorite song, but in fact, it could be my least favorite song on the record, but obviously it's like the most recognizable, and there's some brilliant parts to the song. I'm not going to take away from the song. I think for me, it's just been overplayed in my head so many times that I'm so sick of it. I think this is a great song. It's just I'm over it. But as far as the album goes, I think you must go get this record and listen to it. It's one of those things that I picked it up because I was just interested in it. I remember at the station, and I really liked it, and I wanted to learn it, so I bought the CD. And because there's some interesting chords in that, like the first two chords in that song is like that E flat, and then the second chord is a D over an A. And I just thought that had like an interesting sound. So I ended up buying the album to figure it out and giving the album a listen. And I was like, wow. Like, it took me by surprise how much I really enjoyed it. And I think it really shows, like I said, I think it's a great album. I think it's a quintessential album to own. And if, for a guy like me, so when this record came out, I was 10. Growing up, I look back at Joe Walsh's career, and I'm like, yeah, you could pick a song for here and there that were great off of an album. And that like happens to be like from a lot of artists. So I was really pleasantly surprised to find that this album wasn't that situation. It was, here's a great album that's been hiding, in plain sight from me. And so I wanted to go over it. And like I said, I'll go over in the acoustic corner and we'll do Indian Summer. And, I just can't say enough great things about this album. So pick it up, give it another listen, check out those songs. Like I said, side one is a wham bam home run from Over and Over, Secondhand Store, Indian Summer, At the Station. And like I said, you could put in Tomorrow, so the first 5 songs on that album are a home run. You get into two instrumentals, which are very good, but take you out of that rock and roll hit, singing along type of thing, and then bang with "Life's Been Good" right back into the another like grand slam home run type of song. Again, for me, I'm over that song. It's a little overplayed for me. Same as like Rocky Mountain Way, and yeah, to me, it's just I just heard them enough in my life where I'm not in love with it, but I still recognize them as being great, you know. Anyways, so that's my album review for the day. Hope you have a great day. This is Dave saying, very good.